Change your punch from nothing to very big. Ow! Fuck! I'm sorry. It's gonna get stuck, Eugene. You gotta get the other side.
I thought we were supposed to start in uniform and with dignity. The more things change, the more they say the same.
Eugene and I have been for about 3 years now. We've been ready to work together. Really worked really hard. We talked about this about 5 minutes ago. So we've done a lot of stuff this weekend about energy and flowing and so forth. And I'm going to try to do something we did a couple years ago and see if it actually sticks this time. I'm going to show you a positional flow drill. It's for those guys who have excellent skills, who are amazing grapplers, and there's some novices. But this is something either one can use basically because you're working on positions in a flow. And the idea of getting good constant energy and keeping good pressure. So if Eugene doesn't mind helping the first part, I'm going to do the opening and Eugene's going to do the finishing. He's going to show you how to finish somebody in those different positions. All right? If you mind just laying down with your head facing that direction. So, but the idea of the drill is to keep a little bit of pressure on the person. You go here, take the person's arm, come across, come up here, slide across, back here, pull here, hook here, come around. You've covered a good majority of the positions there. You've done side hold, you've done scarf hold, you've done north-south, you've done inverted, and then finally you're doing mount. If you can do this with flow, that's when you have to start with positions you can do. That's not so much that blur of body motion just happening. You actually have a little bit of structure. As James says, I like to put things in boxes and have things in structure. Anal retentive that way. So we're gonna, no comment from you. So what I want everyone to do is we're gonna do the first part. You basically make your leg into an L and a V. My arm's behind his neck, I'm touching his shoulder, and I'm making it nice and tight to my body so I don't even have to use my arm. You hear that? I'm putting pressure. The reason I'm putting the pressure there is once you go to the back door. It doesn't look like I'm doing a lot, and I'm not. The pressure's 25% I'm taking of his torso, prevents the rest of it moving easily. So I'm using very little energy, he's burning all of his, and I'm in a nice comfortable position that allows me to go into some nasty stuff a little bit later. So we're gonna go from here, I whisper sweet nothings, to he starts to want to push on my face because he doesn't like me. I come across, knee up. Can we get that far? Get a partner. We're not worried about submissions yet. We're not worried about any type of chokes or anything like that. What we're looking at is just the mechanics of flow, of getting the ability to shift our weight on our opponent or partner. All the years I've been doing grappling and all martial arts, there's a couple things that always kind of stand true. Offense is hip to hip. Hip to hip, you're close to the person. If I'm back here, you feel afraid? If I'm here, we have a different story. Hip to hip. Defense, hip away from hip. Space. So I'm trying to make sure when I'm being offensive, there is no space for him. When you're grappling, you really should be able to close your eyes and feel where the person's going and actually grapple better. You don't rely upon your eyes, you don't rely upon what you think his body is. You rely upon where he is by the feeling of it. I mean, Daniel will tell you, when he's rolling earlier, were you looking where you're going or feeling where you're going? You just kind of naturally roll, you flow. So you have to learn how to shift, keeping that constant pressure. So we're gonna go back, we're here, my knee's up. I'm gonna slide my other knee, and you can ask Eugene, I'm putting pressure on his neck right now, and sliding across. So I'm trying to be nice to him, but you're putting pressure so he can flip-flop all around like a dead fish. not dead fish, but a floating fish. And I'm making it so my knee slides across the stomach. I want to actually push a little bit of air out on it, okay? Because I'm a dick. All right, so I'm going to put that air out. When to this position, we're in the mount now. I can now grab the shoulder, spin, and hold his legs. Sorry.
No, it was a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm putting a hook in him. I believe in hooking the person as much as I can in any joint that I can find. So, we're across.
Would you mind starting at the top?
Oh, no, I don't mind at all. Oh, yeah, definitely,
Just to see
100%.
the whole.
So we're here. We're in a nice, solid position. He pushes his hand up, he doesn't like me. I push across, whisper sweet nothings, cup my hands. My knee comes up. Slide my other knee in. Bring my knee across. Okay? From there, this is kind of important, this part. My finger's gonna hook underneath this pit. And I got it. Okay? All right.
Start.
Push his face. Yeah, first, actually too much space. We're just gonna go here. Now I'm gonna go north-south. I'm gonna take my arm, push it on his head. I'm gonna grab the back of his tricep, and I'm gonna spin. You all get that so far? And then from there, this is the toughest part. I'm gonna shoot my right leg through. Okay? One more time for that piece. Yeah. So, north-south, have the tricep. Right the arm.
Can you go from the side?
Oh yeah, sure. All right, so we're here. My elbow's gonna push his neck back, and the reason that is, I just made his spine no longer straight. He just was weakened. I grab his tricep. I'm gonna reach my other arm.
Incidentally, this tricep grab, he could make it hurt, but he's not. He's just holding it, but it will hurt if he squeezes even a little bit more.
I'm in front of you nice. So I'm gonna spin my north and south. This arm is pinching this one back. Right leg shoots in, nice and tight. Okay? If you look at Eugene's face, by the way, he's being turned to the side. Once again, I'm making the spine not solid. If he has a nice solid spine, I'm trying to do this, yeah, I'm screwed. It's just a bad day for me. But if I turn his face, I'm going to do it now.
So is that where your weight is concentrated, is on his face?
80-20. 80% of my weight is on his neck and face, 20% is on my hips and his body.
And even from the point of view, it's easier for me to relax and think from here. As soon as he turns my head, I've got a whole nother universe of things to think about.
It's a lot of pressure again.
Yeah.
It's that pressure. So pressure his face.
Also, his elbow in my right arm is terrible. If he slacks off and lets me bring it here, my level of comfort goes up like 100%. It's when he starts to, this is just, it's terrible.
So I'm back. From here, my left leg is going to shoot my hip. As I shoot my hip, I'm going to spin. Okay?
Is your weight stay fine?
Ask him.
Yeah, he's still being nicer than he could. His hips are riding a little higher. If I was fighting him in that moment, I would try to stick my hand inside.
Normally, I keep all the pressure up here.
And if he scoots his feet into me, thrust his hips into it, then that's real misery.
I guess that's so you can.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice to you.
He's
I mean, I'm not light, so keep it nice and tight, right across the chest. Pressure the entire time. All right.
The guys on my team jokingly call it EJJ, Eugene Jiu-Jitsu. It's a really mean, nasty thing. You can do it with people you love or people you don't know at all.
But just people who casually train with me probably don't want to do it. and I find it works 80% of the time. It works. You know, and if somebody who's not familiar with grappling sees you on the street, they might feel like, you know, that I'm in a much better position. But in actual fact, you know, if I'm punching, he can pull me forward, control me, can push me back, he can move me all around. So I'm not in a great position. Pretty much most of my time is going to be spent trying to escape, but I've got a macro move that lightweight almost champ Gil Melendez taught me. It's pretty simple, and you just put your hands together. That's it. You guys should be able to remember this tomorrow.
Hands together.
Hands together. So the moves that he might try from this will be to try to separate my arms so he can get an arm bar, which is now much harder. He might try to shove one of my hands down below so he can get a triangle. But of course, if my hands are joined, I created a unit, a circular unit here. Yeah. So it buys me a little bit of time, you know. And if it's an MMA match, then of course I can boom, you know, like boom, hit him and keep my hands. But it's a great macro move. You should be able to remember it. All right. Okay. From this same position, I'll show you the second macro move. The second macro move is what he's wanting to do. If I don't join my hands, is to space is his friend and my enemy. So he's going to do a shrimp or some kind of hip action to get our hips, like he said, defensively away. So, see? So if I can't remember anything, what I want to do is get my, if he swivels to the side a little bit, I want to stay close to his hips, always. Leave my hands here, and if he starts to fish for my hands, so you see, I did two things there. I got my hands in, and I put my hips back square to his hips. And I can keep chasing him around all day. Maybe at some point, you know, maybe I'll get called for stalling if it's a competition, or maybe he'll make a mistake and create a space and I'll be open. But I should be able to survive a long time like this.
So pretty much keeping your hands together and walking if you need to.
Yep. Yeah. So the drag of it is the only downside for him is that he'll get tired. But you know, he can keep trying to get out. He can keep moving, and maybe, I mean, he's got to keep moving to try to get something. And his movement, yep, push. He's out. Well, you know, he gave up. He gave up.
Good position offense right now.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah, he gave up. I mean, from here, down here, and maybe. The escape from here is just he punches out toward the door. But that's why, again, I mean, they hate themselves for tapping to it, and I'll do it multiple times to multiple guys so they see it coming. But this starts to hurt so much that they can't stop.
You have to push it.
Yeah. And they push it. They usually typically push it right into this hand. And then sometimes now they'll realize, oh, I'm in trouble, and a guy will try to reach around and grab me by the lats. No, rather than the guy try to let. But now you're in sort of a terrible position as well. Still, you're still hemmed in. Yep. So let's that's a real simple, stupid thing. No, yes.
Punch out. Punch out. Okay. If you can get this hand, put it on the ground, turn it. Like that. Now punch out.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
If you turn this wrist, if it's here, you turn it this way. But he's stuck here. If I use two hands, take his hand down. Okay? He's stuck there. Because of his wrist, he can't punch out. So it'll stop him punching out.
Oh yeah.
And then, if you want to, rip this wrist, get that.
This is a real, with IBJJF, International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, some of these things are real gray zone. Like the elbow in the ribs that he just did, you know. If a ref sees you, they will caution you. Like you can't be doing stuff like that. But if you're slick and you know the ref is behind you, and you're that type of guy. and there's stuff that I do when I'm competing that's that type of guy type stuff. Like, you know, I could take my hand here and place it here, or I could do this. And I'm heavy on his face, and then sometimes I'll even cup, you know, because I want to steal if it's just a second away. And this is real dirty jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu players will hate me for it, but so what? I'm 52. Young to some of you guys, but I don't care. So I pull it off. And that's kind of where this one comes from. And yeah, that catch wrestling wrist twist is great.
Okay.
If you had somebody, you'll be more likely to do it if you've had somebody punch his way out a couple times. Yeah. Second time you get it, you make it so they can't do it. So try. You could try it. Let's just try it from the side. If you feel more confident, you can try it from the half guard, but try it from the side with your forearm on the throat. You see what happens. All right?
Nice.
All right, come here. Get it? Yeah. All right, that's it.
Tell me what you're doing.
If he doesn't push it over, just roll his hand. Yeah. All right, so this one is deceptively simple. I can feel his rib cage.
Oh, you're not.
And Costa, when he did this to me for the first time, I kept waiting for something, and then I realized that something I was waiting for was not going to come because this was it. So it's like snowboarding. You know how you have to be on one edge or the other. What get off of me. What I want to do is bow his body, keeping him from getting on an edge, right? If he's on the edge this way, he's okay. If he's on the edge toward me, generally he probably feels okay. Yeah. If I flatten him like this, I can feel my ribs right here and his ribs, and I'm gonna pull his shoulder off the mat, and I'm gonna grab under his shoulder or his tricep here, and I'm gonna take my ass off the mat, and I'm gonna pull my arms up toward me. And it doesn't take me, I can do this forever. Oh yeah, you didn't. So what happens is if a guy panics, he can't breathe, and his options for getting me out of there, I mean, he's got a lot, but I want him to try everything because every breath he takes out, I'm going to sink it deeper. So. He was a motivated son.
Yes, I was.
And now all you have to do is you should pull this, get some pressure and pull it down, or you can raise your elbow up. And you can't go that way. You got either way. So
I locked it in.
It's going to be amazing.
I locked it in. Just so I can stop it from moving and moving. So I locked it. And then I want him to keep moving to get out of it.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
Your head doesn't feel it.
And if you want to be a real jerk, I'll add one thing. So I'm here, and I'm getting tired of waiting. No, watch first. I'm getting tired of waiting, but I can feel, depending on where I am, that his sternum is somewhere around here. You know. So if I want to, what I'm trying to do is get him to create some sort of motion that I can handle. I don't want to be on the receiving end of some motion that I can't handle. So what I've taken to doing here is I'm either here trying to pass the guard using that spot that James was talking about here, or what I've been doing now is I'll just slide up a little bit. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. And this is part of ripping. When I came from catch wrestling and jiu-jitsu, they would have to stop me like 4 times a class and pull me aside and go, "What are you doing? You're not, you know. You're not, what are you doing?" I go, "Well, that's what I learned." So if you got a guy, and the reality of it is in competition, if I'm here like this, you're gonna call me for stalling before they call him for stalling. You know, so I want to, if I can't get out of his guard, he's got a real strong guard. Then I got to do stuff to make him move. And usually for me, it's stuff that'll make him angry. That'll make him angry. And strangely enough, you sit up. If you're going with a guy, depending on the kind of upbringing he's had, you'll notice
We don't want to sit here.
Yeah. When you're going like this, typically what I'll do is to get inside a guy's head, get him off his game and make him angry, I'll go. And then half the guys out there who have, father issues or whatever, flip. They do not like it. It's really dismissive and terrible. Boom.
My mom hits harder than you.
Wrestlers are used to it. You're always
Right.
you're always doing it. So here, hands together, hips in. You want to add something to make him move. And still, he's coming up. He's coming up for something, but I really have not too many worries in the world because I got the hands. And of course, if it's MMA, what Gil Melendez added, he calls them his King Kong strikes again. But it's not MMA.
What the hell is that?
No, he did that to, I think he did that to Gomi when they fought at Pride.
Okay.
That's what he calls them, his King Kong strikes. But this is simple, and this is simple. So anyway, that's me.
The guy that showed me this next exercise, we did the same thing. We did a very physical class, then we came inside. He asked me to light a candle. So I lit the candle, not knowing what to do. And he walks across, we were in an apartment, and he went from about me to Sam. He had the kitchen table here, actually it was about here. And I lit the candle, and he went, and the candle went out. We all kind of looked, there was like 12 of us in class, we all come on. He goes, light it again. And so I light it again. And he does it again. And he goes, that's called having your stable data blowing. We looked around and all of us were like, and he goes, what you thought was real just got blown away. And he goes, that's my job as a teacher, is to do these things for you. So the candle is a great trainer. Okay, it goes back to a lot of things. One James was talking about earlier with when the punch comes, boom. Okay, when we try the candle, there's a philosophy that it's 100 miles out, 200 in. Okay, the retraction has to be faster than the strike. So we want to fling that off. We're flinging the energy off. Okay, so the candle is going to tell you whether you flung it, you just pushed it, or if it goes to the side. And so we can go over, and if you guys want to try the candle, we can go over here. So normally when it's like this, you let the candle warm up so you get a nice solid flame, or otherwise it's too easy to put out.
Masayama did it with punches. He said if the candle flame is higher than 1 inch, one person in 1,000 can do it.
Yeah, yeah. And what we do is you find a stance that's comfortable, and you just strike at it. Okay.
That candle's got to warm up. That's a little baby flame.
Yeah, right. And the pointing is easier than trying to do the palm. Now, I showed my mom this probably about 25, 27 years ago when I first learned it. And she goes, oh, that's funny. Your grandpa, who was a Golden Glove boxer champion for 3 states in the 30s and 40s, would do this with his boxing. Mm-hmm. So it's about a hand speed thing. Flicking it out and bringing it back. Like come out. Wow. Okay. It's about the retraction. And I thought with everything, your kicks, every strike you can think of, you can practice.
Yeah, remember the class we had?
And
You hit so gentle.
And that's the thing. For this, you want to say stop, let it flow, and have the idea of 100 out, 200 back, no matter what you're doing.
Okay.
Just bringing it back. You got to bring it back.
Now, I will tell you, I'll give you some shortcuts. One thing that helped me was thinking of a towel. We all snap towels. Okay. So when I snap, okay, I'm snapping the towel.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Frank got it too.
Snake technique. I will say this though, if you do practice this, one of the most common tendencies is when you're striking, all of a sudden your arm starts to hurt right here. Okay, has anybody experienced that yet? Okay.
A little bit down
The
here.
reason being, yes sir. Yes sir. It blocks. You need the extension. When you stop here, it's that the qui, the pathway is blocked. Okay, I will tell you, there's 3 things that happen with the candle. Okay, you'll get 1 strike. if I can get it to, I'll be soft. You see how it blows? Okay, and it'll eventually go out that way.
He's busy.
You'll get another strike.
He's busy.
See how it's pulled in?
Comes out this way.
Uh-huh. That's the sucking. Okay. Uncle calls it qigong, nagong, and waigong. Okay. Now, when I do it right,
Okay.
the flame's gonna go,
Tonight.
and then a smoke goes straight up.
Okay. But everything at home.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
That's qigong.
Okay.
From about this far away. To the side, pretty big.
Oh, pretty close,
Oh,
Joe.
the first one.
You know, little man was just playing.
Wow.
Nice job. Yeah, Jack. Nice.
See it
Oh,
ripple.
that's
You
cool.
can see it
See it
ripple through.
Went through all
Yeah,
of
you
it.
can see it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that'd be cool.
Ah.
Wave go through.
Wow.
Energy flows through.
I don't know about this picking one thing.
We're picking this one.
I thought we were picking the back one first.
Wow.
I was aiming for that one though. Wrong ones.
There you go.
There you go.
At least you got
Nice.
at least you skipped one twice.
So, yeah, put them all out.
You got to work your gross motor skills too.
Left leg arc, skate arc 14, left leg, you have 2 more seconds, 15, 16, oh, roll over the hooks, half hook.
When the punch comes, you want to be able to punch from any angle, from any position.
I can slow him. Double strike. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.